Christian Horner was let go from his duties as team principal and CEO for Red Bull Racing earlier today. And I've been trying to come up with a way to talk about this as a non biased person. But it's pretty hard to do that when I have very strong feelings about Christian Horner. So let's just get into what happened. Christian Horner has been a team principal of Red Bull Racing since 2005, which was Red Bull's first ever season in Formula One, and has got them 6 drivers' championships and 6 constructors' championships within that 20-year time span. He is a top 5, arguably top 3 team principal of all time in Formula One, um, and I believe is the longest standing team principal in Formula One currently. At least at one team, he definitely is so far at this point in time. Um, and it came as a surprise to many. Even Horner. Like there was a video released by Sky Sports of Horner talking about his letting go to the entire Red Bull staff, and you can tell he was caught by surprise with this move. But although everyone was caught by surprise, for a lot of people, it was kind of a long time coming. Um, just last year, at the beginning of the season, Christian Horner was accused of SA by a woman in Red Bull Racing who works for Red Bull Racing. Um, and that probably should have gotten the nail in the coffin right there, but it didn't. He was stayed on for another 18 months or so. Um, and many fans wanted him gone at that point, you know, but he wasn't. And with the turmoil within the team, with the power struggles within the team, with the exit of Adrian Newey, with staff members leaving left and right, with the car performance being absolute dog shit, and with rumors of Max Verstappen and Mercedes, put the nail in the coffin for Christian Horner. And realistically, this was 18 months too late. As I said, he should have been fired last year with the whole thing that went on with that woman who worked for Red Bull, but he wasn't. And, well, here we are. In 2025, Christian Horner is gone. Um, I find it very fitting that, you know, he's gone mid-season when he treated so many second drivers for this team poorly and got rid of second drivers during mid-season so often. Look back to Mark Webber and his mistreatment by Horner and Red Bull Racing. Then you look at Daniel Ricciardo's mistreatment by Red Bull Racing and Horner. And then you get into the people who were dropped mid-season. That being Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, Sergio Perez, Liam Lawson. And now Yuki Tsunoda, and Yuki Tsunoda ain't doing shit in this Red Bull. And it's just fitting. As I said, it's fitting that Horner is gone mid-season after he let so many drivers go mid-season. It's come full circle for Christian Horner. And it's interesting, is all I'm going to say. To replace Christian Horner as team principal and CEO of Red Bull Racing, you have Laurent Mekies, who has previously worked for Arrow, Minardi, and a bunch of other teams, including Red Bull Racing's sister team, Racing Bulls, as their team principal from 2024 to today, where he got promoted to Red Bull Racing's CEO and team principal. To replace McKees at Racing Bulls is Alan Permain, who worked at Renault, worked at Alpine, and now works at Racing Bulls. He was their racing director. He is now their team principal. And I think for Red Bull as a team, I think this was a good decision. Not only because you have the allegations and the issues that Horner has caused throughout the years gone, but you have a fresh new start. Red Bull has really been struggling since the beginning of 2024 after having 2.25 years of dominance in between 2022 and the beginning of 2024. They've fallen off a cliff, as it seems. They're currently I believe, third in the constructors. No, it's not third. Fourth in the constructors championship. And with Max Verstappen kind of fading away at Red Bull, it's looking more and more that they're just losing out on so many different things within the team and the car. And maybe a new eyes on the team, eyes on the car with McKee's will give them a boost that they well need. But many people have speculated that Horner's gone because Max Verstappen is gone. He's gone to Mercedes, and that has no substance whatsoever, right? Max is not signed with Mercedes, at least not yet, if he is, and there's nothing saying that he has or will, right? Just speculation. There's also rumors that Horner will be going to Ferrari at the end of the season or two, whenever he's fully let go. But that also is just speculation, and I think Lewis himself will retire before that happens. Um, yeah, it's weird, because you had Christian Horner since 2005. I was born in 2003. Horner has been a team principal since I was 2 years old, and is now gone. I'm now 21, and he's gone. So it's kind of crazy. Um, Also looking back at all the funny times that he had with Toto Wolff, all the banter, all the fun, all the arguments, that's now gone. And I don't watch Drive to Survive, um, mostly due to my attention span, but I know people who do, and they enjoyed those arguments with Toto and Horner. And now that's gone. The most memorable being Checo's been saying the car is fucked. I have it printed out like that whole argument where he's saying that Checo's saying the car is fucked. Probably the biggest moment between the two team principals, Toto and Horner. Um, that's now over, at least for now. Um, and again, Horner gave a very somber speech to the Red Bull staff, and made me feel bad for a split second. But then I realized it's his time. You know, Everything he's done for the team, great. You did a lot of good things for Red Bull Racing. You also did a lot of bad for Red Bull Racing. It's time to go. Um, Personally, if you ask me if I'm happy, I would say yes. Oh, I 100% say yes. But am I kind of sad that he's gone? Yeah, a little bit. You know, he is the second most wins from a team principal in F1 history. I believe it's 154, if I'm not mistaken. Above him is Ron Dennis, and below him is Toto Wolff with 150. Right, so he certainly has a legacy in the sport, and seeing such a prominent figure going does suck at times, but he's done a lot of bad things and a lot of good things. You know, um, Personally, I'm very happy he's gone again. Like I think he should have been gone 18 months ago when the whole situation with the Red Bull employee came out, but he wasn't. But he's gone now, and that's it. He's gone. I'll be happy to see what Red Bull does with McKee's, but that's it for today. Christian Horner officially gone from Red Bull.